Hello, everybody. Welcome to Miss Valley Entertainment News. My name is Dread. Today, we're going to take a look at Atomfall. Atomfall is a game that I have some interest in. Certainly looks interesting, like a game I'd actually legit want to play. Atomfall comes out on March 27th, 2025. It's put out by Rebellion, who are best known for the Sniper Elite franchise. And we're going to take a look at this video, which will be linked down below for you to check out for yourself afterwards. Take a look at this video. 15 things you should know before you buy Atomfall. Haven't seen this before? I'm going through it with you at the same time. Let's do it.
Rebellion Developments is renowned for its Sniper Elite franchise, offering a realistic sandbox for players to snipe targets during World War II. However, its next
Just gonna say these are really beautiful screenshots, and I don't know with this footage what console or computer or what they're playing this on, but it looks really good in the footage. Like it looks very clear and very nice.
targets during World War II. However, its next big release, Atomfall, is something entirely different. As a post-nuclear survival sandbox title in first person, it's more focused on the narrative and decision-making in a world of mystery.
Mm-hmm.
It's ambitious in many ways, but I came away impressed after spending some hands-on time. And here are 15 things that you should know about Atomfall before it launches.
Just as you look at the various, inside bunkers, things on the wall, dirty and gross, out here in the grass and the trees. Very contrasting settings and all looking very good. Now that can look really good and you buy the game and it looks like dog shit. I know. Don't ever trust what a developer says until you've seen the game yourself and played it yourself, but still.
On March 27th for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, PC, and Xbox One alongside Game Pass. Setting. Set in northern England 5 years after the Windscale fire of 1957, Atomfall is about you, but who you are is the big question. Awakening with no memories, you wander across the landscape trying to piece together what happened.
Very Skyrim-esque, just when they say you awaken, you've got no memories, you don't know who you are. In Skyrim, you wake up a prisoner on a cart about to be beheaded. Here, you wake up trapped inside a nuclear zone.
What is the strange pillar of light emitting from the Windscale site? Who is the voice on the phone telling you to kill Oberon? How do you escape this quarantine zone? Well, it's up to you to solve these mysteries.
When I saw movement, I thought it might be one of those awful feral goblins some people seem to have turned into.
Oh, nice.
You don't look like a goblin, though. Or an outlaw.
Now, just looking at it here, again, looking at the background, looks very nice. Looking at the character models are decent looking, honest to God, but they seem to be standing a little bit stiffly while they're talking, and although the mouth is moving, it's not actually matching completely what they're saying. So the lip sync could be a little bit better. The bodies should be a little less stiff when they're not in motion, but still a step above games like Starfield. I mean, a step above a lot of games. So not bad. And again, it's not going to look like you looking out your window because this is 1962 after a nuclear disaster.
So, just exactly who are you?
Complete freedom of choice. Alternatively, don't. Answering a random call from a phone booth out in the wilderness, inspired by a similar incident that Rebellion CEO Jason Kingsley faced in the past, well, it's insane, but that's one of the cooler parts of Atomfall. I could follow a random note telling me to locate Mother Jago at the old mining site, or walk right through the door of the Druid camp and raise hell. I could investigate the old dam, try to find Joyce Tanner, or sneak through the Protocol Soldiers watchtower, which goes wrong. You're not on a fixed path, but not left to your own devices either.
Now, I saw somebody playing this game for roughly 20 minutes. I apologize. I'm getting some really weird things going on. When the screen was black at the beginning, I was getting all kinds of fuzziness off my gray shirt because the green screen behind me is not liking the gray color of my shirt. And now that we're got stuff going on, now I look like I've been painting with yellow paints. I don't know. My green screen's been slightly off kilter and slightly broken since the very beginning. My apologies. Let's just move on.
No quests, following leads instead.
Oh, I was going to say, I did watch somebody play this game for about 20 minutes. Got sidetracked by looking at myself. Go figure. And they actually played it with they thought, you know what, I'm going to go in and I'm not even going to try to really figure things out so much. I'm not going to negotiate with people. I might talk to some people, but if I want something from them, I'm going to loot it off their corpse or I'm not going to get it. So they went in there with the idea that they were basically going to try to kill everybody they saw. Having that option in a game is true freedom of choice. Again, I don't mean to harp on Starfield particularly, but still not that old of a game where it's a game that says it's an RPG and says you have freedom of choice, but you have no freedom of choice at all in the game. This is kind of cool, though. I like it. There's all kinds of different things you could choose to do or not to do, and it's going to lead you down different paths into different areas. And if, like me, if I get this game, if I ever have the money for it, you hop into the game and you decide you just want to kill everybody. Hey, you woke up, you got no idea where you are, who you are. You decide you're just going to be a mass murderer. Excellent. Good fun.
Rather than a traditional questing structure, Atomfall provides leads.
I like this.
Think of them as suggestions rather than instructions, with clues to investigate or watch out for. The lead to find Mother Jago led to another where she asked if I could retrieve her herbalism book from the Druids.
No.
But this isn't a fixed course, and I'm not on the clock. The same goes for finding Joyce. She provides the coordinates, but it's ultimately up to me to locate her bunker and decide whether to follow her leads. It's very engrossing, encouraging exploration while facilitating the non-linear storytelling that Rebellion is after.
Several games I've played.
Locations.
I can't remember the names of them.
My playthrough started several hours into the game and offered a variety of locations. 2 were notable: the old mine where Mother Jago took refuge and the dam. Otherwise, there's no indication of anything else. I discovered the Druids camp purely by accident, or by murdering way too many Druids on the way, but in my defense, they started it. Yeah. Some are discovered by walking around, like the random radio tower where I found Joyce's message and coordinates, or a helicopter crash site.
Also been described as a European Fallout. I can see where they're getting that a little bit. Not entirely the same game, not even close, but yet there's enough similarities that you could say that, sure.
Though the entire scale of the map is unknown, the locations felt naturally spaced out, like I was exploring the actual countryside, albeit with much more danger. Dialogue choices.
Do you require the operator? Perception is key. Listen to me.
Fallout fans will be familiar with dialogue choices, especially those requiring skill checks and whatnot. Atomfall offers the same, but your responses also have helpful tags to indicate your nature. For example, when I met Billy Gorse, a traveling merchant who was clearly infected but not fully mutated, I could react with shock, saying his appearance bothered me. I could also go with indifference or wariness, leading to other choices, including impatience with all of the questioning. While the consequences of these choices weren't obvious, they made me consider my interactions all the more.
Why does he have gray skin?
This was especially so when speaking to Mother Jago, measuring the need to pry versus giving way too much information, or deciding whether I should convince Joyce to trust me. Kill everyone.
Yeah!
Though the inner murder hobo didn't activate against the more amicable lot, I still found myself leaping into combat with the druids, outlaws, and ferals dotting the landscape. You don't have a choice in many circumstances, though in many others, it's possible to back away before combat starts or scare enemies with a gun. However, Rebellion confirms that you can kill just about any enemy and NPC.
Nice.
Or none at all.
Or all.
The choice, once again, is ultimately yours, but the consequences are a different story. Enemy types. I was admittedly skeptical about the kinds of enemies that Atomfall would present, but even among the human types, there's some strong variety. Outlaws usually had firearms and felt more armored, making it riskier to barge into fights. On the other hand, druids will rely on bows, arrows, knives, and even Molotov cocktails to kill you. I was also surprised to find mutated plants that spit poisonous projectiles when infiltrating the druids' camp. Then you have the ferals, mutated humans that will charge with abandon and can infect you with their hits. Other notable threats include the protocol soldiers, if you get on their bad side, the bard robots, and even mutated rats attacking in swarms.
Whoa.
Combat. Defending yourself is easy enough with various melee weapons like the trusty cricket bat and axe, each with their own unique properties.
I can't wait to see if it's possible to mod this game and have people add in different weapons and different things into this game. I think it'll be really, really cool. Like, what if you want to go around with a rubber band gun? Chainsaw. I mean, they might have a chainsaw. I don't know. What if you want to play with hacksaw blades between your fingers or pretend you're Wolverine? I mean, there's a lot of options here. Could be some really cool ones.
You can execute the standard combos or even throw weapons, which is ideal when carrying hatchets and knives.
Throw loads of bread.
Firearms like rifles, shotguns, revolvers, and handguns are also available, though the scarce amount of ammo meant considering which ones I should have at the ready. A full suite of firearms and explosives in case things go loud, or perhaps using a bow for an initially stealthy approach and a cricket bat for more close encounters. Either way, it encouraged thinking about my engagements and then planning on the fly. Pneumatic cache. You're limited in the amount of items that can be carried, but Atomfall has somewhat of a solution to this with the pneumatic cache. When discovered, you can shove any desired items like bandages, food, explosives, and more, and retrieve them at another location. The catch is that you're not sure, at least from the outset, if a pneumatic cache station is present, adding to the risk. Marking their locations on the map is yet another key facet of survival. Skills. As you progress, new skills become available, allowing you to lean into melee combat, survival, ranged combat, and conditioning. Kill momentum will grant a buff to melee damage, while quiet movement reduces the sound of your footsteps. Taking down enemies can be noisy, but thankfully there is a skill for muffling it. You can even disarm traps and harvest their materials. Crafting. The world of Atomfall isn't littered with junk to collect by the truckload, but you will find cloth, scrap, gunpowder, and other materials that can come in handy. Bandages are cheap to make, and on top of recovering health over time, they cure bleeding and temporarily provide resistance to its buildup. You'll discover, or sometimes have to barter, for recipes to be able to craft antidotes, explosive lures, and more, but they could come in handy when you least expect it. Bonkers choices to influence enemy population. By head of design Ben Fisher's own admission, Atomfall features, quote, some experimental stuff that wouldn't be attempted anywhere else because, quote, you can't guarantee a result. There's some bonkers stuff in Atomfall, he told Video Gamer. There are events the player can trigger or completely miss that have an influence on the enemy population in the game world and stuff like that. While he noted it might or might not work, he's looking forward to finding out. References for other Rebellion games. During a recent Q&A, the development team was asked if there were any nods to Sniper Elite to discover in Atomfall, to which it enthusiastically replied, yes, followed by, no, we're not going to tell you. Regardless, players can find lots of fun things, including references to other Rebellion titles and even British media, including the BBC.
Just curiosity, if anybody watching this is played Sniper Elite or is a fan of the series, drop down in the comments and let me know how you view Rebellion as a studio, as a publisher and stuff. How they do they do with their games? Do they respond well to player feedback? Do they make sure the games work and aren't buggy? That kind of thing. Do you feel like this is a good company to be the people interested in this game should be trusting or not?
Story expansion.
It's been weeks of fiddling with consoles and reading paperwork and... oh, well, I'm a bit stumped, to be honest. All this kit, and none of it well suited to getting a simple communications channel up and running.
Alongside 3 days of early access, the Deluxe Edition also includes a story expansion pack. There isn't much information aside from not launching on day one, and Rebellion has remained tight-lipped on what it could offer. Well, we'll have to wait for more details. Playtime. With all these different choices and paths, how long will it take to beat Atomfall? In the same Q&A, Fisher said a full playthrough could take 15, 20, or even 25 hours, though it depends on how you play.
Yeah.
Another team member commented how they had a playthrough of 20-odd hours and still hadn't ventured into some parts of the woodlands or conversed with half the cast. Fisher promises a, quote, single, meaningful narrative experience, but also that you can revisit it for something completely different. And that'll be about it for this one. If you guys like what we're doing at Gaming Vault, please...
So, I find Atomfall to be a very interesting looking game. I like the premise. It sounds like a game I would like to play. However, I will tell you what I don't have is any disposable income at all. After 9 years in Canada under the same government, they've now managed to make the middle class into people who are basically very, very poor and are struggling to get by. And God knows what happened to the poor class. They're just, I expect they're all living on the streets now in homeless camps, quite honestly. And the only ones getting richer are, the politicians and their families and friends. It's a great gig if you're a politician, I guess. But I'll be honest with you, I literally have no money to buy any games. I used to buy a bunch of games under $5-10 and stuff during the month. I can't even afford to buy one of those during the month. I can't even afford to put gas in my car every day. I got to choose whether I eat or whether I pay bills, and there's no option here to have any disposable income to spend on a game. I have not bought a game since November of last year, and I don't foresee me buying one anywhere near here in the future unless things take a really, really good turn politically and financially here in Canada. But I don't foresee that happening because most of our politicians are complete and utter assholes. And they only care about themselves, and that's great. That's wonderful. As millions of Canadians will soon die because of the government's decisions. Hey, great. Don't mean to get all political on you, but that is my financial situation. I have zero money to spend. I have zero entertainment budget. If I wanted to buy a game for $20, I would have to choose not to eat for a day or two. So that's kind of where I'm at. But the game looks really interesting, and I'd love to pick it up sometime in the future when I somehow magically grow a money tree or something. What can I say? And if that is the reason why my channel's not putting out as many gaming videos right now? Probably because it's hard to get excited about gaming when I know I can't buy or play any of them. And that's not the gaming industry's fault. That's my government's fault. But it is what it is. But I am excited for this. I'm looking forward to seeing more people, average Joes and Jills, playing this game when it comes out on March 27th and see what they think of it. And it'll be something that'll be high on my wish list for a while. Probably many years. So from Misfile Entertainment News, my name is Dread. Thank you all so much for this. And like I say, there's a couple of games this reminds me of, but I can't recall what they all are now. There was an English game where you play a guy who he starts out in an office and he has to toe the line that he's given, and he starts looking into other things, and then he goes underground and stuff. And he's being chased by everybody, and everybody takes happy pills in their society. You may know the game I'm talking of, and you have you pick up sticks and bats to hit people with and stuff, and try to get your way through. I never did finish that game. It was a really, really good game. It reminds me of that a little bit. There was also a game where you played as a soldier, and again, this was somewhere in the UK, I do believe, and not a soldier, but you played as someone who, after a war or something, and there was giant mechs all over, and either you or you and your friends, if you chose to team up, could learn how to take these things down with the weapons you find and put together. It reminds me a little bit of that game as well. Can't remember the name of that one either. It also reminds me, when they go into the underground parts, it reminds me of Myth Survival. There is a tunnel you're going down where the ghouls or the whatever are coming out against you. The plant people are spitting at you. Reminds me very, very much of Myth Survival. And of course, Fallout. I mean, it does have the look and feel in a lot of ways of Fallout. This is taking a lot of inspiration, I think, from a lot of different games. You could probably name some as well, having looked at this, that you think it takes inspiration from. I really am legit excited about this game. And I hope at some point I get to play it. And I hope if it's a good game, you want to play it, you get to play it as well. So for Misfile Entertainment News, my name is Dread. This is Trent. We're out of here. Thank you all so much. We'll talk to you again next time. Bye-bye.